This is a part of a course where we learn Godot by making a 2D game, a vampire survival clone with a scalable architecture. Press like if it's been useful. In this part, we will add damage effect for our units using shaders and improve our code a bit. About the code improvements, we had a new function spawn assets for spawning any assets that need only positioning. And also we add separate function for spawning our burst particles when our enemy dies. So the issue here that this function almost repeats the spawn asset, just adds a few new lines. So instead of cloning this and repeating again and again for different particles and different scenes that just need a few additional lines, we could actually reuse this function. So instead of doing this, we could call our spawn asset function and pass there the asset key that should be instantiated in our game. But we need to get the reference back so we can proceed the setup. So instead of returning void, we will return the asset itself at the end, like this. And now we'll get the asset. In our case, it's burst, GPU particles, and now we don't need to instantiate it. Asset spawner already did it. We don't need to wait for ready, no need for global positioning. It's all handled here at this line. All we need to do is get the burst particles and just finish the setup. So adding the connection to finished signal and enable the emission. That's it. Only one thing, we used here await. So in order to get the answer, we also need to await this function to finish. And position, yeah, second parameter position. Okay, less code, reusable logic, less issues, less bugs. Let's try it. Run again our enemy spawn test to check it works. If our enemies will spawn particles when they die, and they do, it works. All good. So now I can remove this. Just be careful, because in future development, when you will add new functions to spawn some new instances, new scenes, new something in your game, you could need additional changes to this function. I changed only one thing. I returned the asset, and this function keeps compatibility with previously written code. So I don't need to make any changes in my entire game. And no scripts should be changed. Everything keep working. So this change is fine. But if you will need to add additional changes and they will break the compatibility with existing code, that means that maybe better do not and actually create a real new function. Now let's add hit effect for our units. Open base unit scene and let's add under the sprite 2D animation player node, call it get hit animation player. Okay, leave it like this. And how we will make the animation? Well, there is a very flexible and easy approach. We will use a shader. Shaders are just a code, a small application that is running on your GPU, and you can use it to make some effects by control what final image there will be for a certain item in your game. Like there was, I don't know, some lightning source and you updated it with your code, changing colors or something. You could also change shadows and even the geometry of your nodes. So this sci-fi shield is made by shaders. All the shaders for Godot you could find on Godot shaders or search on GitHub. Here are a few examples I wrote myself. Well, let's open this one and this one. Okay, I was playing with slimes and I needed an animation of appears and when the slime will die. So as you see, my shader changed the geometry place with the geometry of 2D node, and we have this funny effect that we can tune at runtime, so we can easily animate it. Or this one, where I generate via shader this wood texture. It's not an image, it's fully generated and painted by the shader itself with blending effect and the coloring. So how to use an add shader to a game? Well, go find one, copy the code, create in our app the shader in the root shader folder, create a new resource, search for shader, but be careful, there are different shaders, you need just the plain shader, and rename it to blink in our case, copy this code you see on my screen. It's a simple shader to change the color of our item to full white, and then we'll change it right back. Okay, shader is ready to use. Now pick in base unit sprite 2D, go to material and new shader material. If you don't know what material are, it's like a skin. You have an item like texture or maybe some mesh, and the skin on it, where you will put the texture, some coloring effects, the skin are the materials. So in our case, the material will be a shader. So it will be like put on top of our sprite. And here under the shader, pick up our blink shader. Now we can pick the flash color and increase the value. We don't see it because we don't have in base unit any sprite, but let's try just to test our shader works. Flash color is white, and here how it will look like. So when we get damage, we'll make this effect. Okay. In our get hit animation player, create new animation. Let's call it also blink, and add keys from our flash. First key will be 0, no flash when we get damage. Then at 0.5 we'll set it to 0.6 like this, and at the end again there will be 0. So our effect will look like this. Well, it's too slow, so I will also increase the speed like 2 times maybe. Okay, maybe even more, but you should tweak it on yourself, how you feel it. Okay, now it's ready. Let's remove our sprite from base unit, and now we need to call this animation each time we get damage. Open our base unit script. First, on our HP component in the init function, subscribe to change, and we'll have a new function on get hit. And here is our new function. We're gonna if our current HP is less than previously, so we actually get damage, we're not healed or gain more HP than was before, we'll call play animation. Just need also to add reference to our new node like this. That's it. Each of our unit, if it lose some HP, will run this animation. Let's try it out and run our enemy spawn test. But you need to use enemies with HP enough to get fewer hits, not to die permanently from first hit. Okay, here is our projectile, and no, they all play the same animation. Yeah, it's a classic issue. So how we're gonna fix this? Open again our base unit. The thing is, when we added this shader material, it's a resource and it's shared. So each of our inherited scenes, each our enemy, even player, all of them get the same shader material. They don't create their own for each one. So what we can do? The fix is very easy. We just need to tell to each inherited scene, to each sub-scene, to create own copy, own clone of this material, of this resource. So under the resource properties, be careful don't open the shader because it's the resource itself too. No, for the material resource properties, local to scene, enable this one. So this material is local to each scene it is used in. So each scene will create own copy. That's it, just local to scene. Now let's run our test again, and each enemy now should have own material. Yeah, now it worked as it should. Hope you like this video. Press like and see you in the next one.